Yo, you ready to press record? You press record? Do we press record yet? I think you press record. Let's get it. Irv and Co. Irv and Co. If you're looking for a podcast, here you go. Irv and Co. Irv and Co. If you're looking for a podcast, here you go. 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 What's happening? What it is? What it ain't? What it's gonna be? This your boy Irv from Irv and Co. And my host Amanda. Say what's happening to the Co Squad.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Oh, hold on. I think I got the thing. Oh, well, you'll hear my voice this time. But I'm here. There you go. What's up, Irv?
Yeah, we good. Oh, I was supposed to gloss right over that, huh? Okay, I see how. But it's cool. It's cool. We all good. Yo, I'm telling you, we still rocking with Black History Month, right? And I feel like
all day, 365,
right.
366.
Where a lot of things happen. I said, you know what? A lot of things be happening in the barbershop. A lot of conversations. A lot of things come out of that. And where we go to, I know some, you know people. You be like, who could I talk to in a barbershop? So I got my cuz. You know what I'm saying? He the owner of Blaze Barbershop. You know what I'm saying? His coach, Florida. I'm talking about Jonathan Delevoe, Hollywood native. You know what I'm saying? What?
Woo! There you go.
Yo, hey, dope barber, man. One time he hit you with the lineup, you be like, damn, he did it? For sure, my boy be cutting you up clean, man. Check him out.
Appreciate it.
Area, man. What's happening, man? Welcome to the show.
And thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, I be on your IG. I be seeing you be cutting. I wanna say it's like artistic, like how you be doing this. Like, do you consider being a barber an art form?
It is. But you know, I think you got technical artists and you got creative artists. I think I'm more technical because don't ask me to draw Picasso in your head. I could put a couple patterns, I could put a star, simple, but I'm not gonna go crazy like that. I don't got time for all
that. Dang.
But for as far as styling and being able to cut every texture, if you got hair and you got money, you can sit in my chair.
It rhymes.
Hair and money.
That's it.
So what got you into barbering? Like what was your inspiration? Was it somebody or was it like what was your inspiration to get into barbering?
So the true story is I found some in high school. I found the clippers my mom used to mess our heads up with. And so she always laughed at me because I wake up and I say I can do something. And so I said, Mom, I think I can cut hair. So I had found the clippers in the house. And I just started cutting my hair, messing up Nate hair. And eventually by my senior year, I got decent enough to start charging people $5. And honestly, it took off more so in college, but I've been doing it since I was 16, honestly.
That's what's up.
Found some clippers.
Well, tell me how many hairs estimated? How many hairs you think you had to mess up before you felt like, yo, I think I could do this?
So BG, I started my sophomore year. I don't think I got nice probably until my junior year of college.
Ooh, so you messed up a lot of hair. So what I'm saying though, do they pay? Like how does that?
So I'm speaking from the vantage point. So this is the thing about barbering, right? Or any skill. The better you get, the worse your old stuff look. You feel what I'm saying? And so the way I cut now, like when I was doing it in the time, it was fresh. The guy liked it, I liked it, but we call it the barber eye. So as your barber eyes get better, you be like, dang, that was this, but that was that. If you scroll down far enough on my Instagram, there's this picture of one of the guys still cut him to this day of when I cut his hair in 2013 versus when I cut his hair in 2018. And my barber eye, when he in 2013 he liked it. In 2018 he liked it. We both liked it. But as I got better, I realized the mistakes that I was making back then. And I don't think people didn't really care because I was only charging, $7. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, that's real. That's that's real. Go ahead, Amanda. You got anything for John?
Yes, I do. How I wanted to say, like, let's talk hair types. How important is it when it comes to skills, when it comes to cutting different hair types or different hair textures?
So I'm gonna be frank with you. Your skill is not the most important thing. It's it's the experience that a person has when they in your chair. And I say the reason I say that is because most people, like, now we the prettiest. I ain't gonna lie, we the prettiest when it comes to it. But most people, they just want their hair cut. And as long as it's not an obvious, oh my God, what did you do? They satisfied. So I think skill skill will help you be like one of those top echelon barbers, the ones that be able to cut like celebrities or people like that. But you can make a good living just on basic skill level, honestly. But it's your experience, how people feel when they get in your chair, like the environment of your shop, all those things, honestly mean more to the customer than your actual skill. Just don't mess them up. And so I tell people, I may not be the best haircut you get, but I dang sure ain't gonna be the worst.
Real.
Dang.
Nah, that's real. That's honest. That's definitely. Um,
Absolutely.
but
Another question that I had is, like, what is something you wish you known or heard when you were growing up?
As far as pertains to just my career choice or just in general.
Both. You could talk about both.
Honestly, I don't know what more I could have asked for growing up because, my dad, with in our family, we come from a family of, hard workers and people with degrees and entrepreneurship. So it wasn't much more that I think they could have did. It's more about how I received it and
Mm-hmm.
and what I believed at the time. I think if I would have known what I know about myself now, I may have just jumped into barbering straight out of high school, high school, because I got a degree. I got a IT degree, and I did IT for a few years. But look where I'm at. And so, had I known, I may have just jumped into it straight out the gate. I wouldn't have this student loan debt. I'm waiting to see what this president gonna do. That's why they ain't getting no money from me yet. And so,
That's
honestly,
real.
I don't know what more they could have did. Uh,
what as you said, that was actually one of my questions. Being you are a college graduate, do you feel like, I mean, you say you have a degree in IT? Do you feel like this was beneficial for your career path, or you would have gotten where you would have gotten without your college background?
so to be a barber, yeah, college was necessary. To be where I am, my college experience was absolutely necessary in a sense of I never took barbering seriously to be a full-time career until I had to. Because what happened with me is when I graduated with my degree in 2013, I started working for the campus under my internship turned into my job. And so my wife at the time, we she was pregnant with our first child, and she was 5 months pregnant, and I got let go. And so and she was working on her master, so she wasn't working either. And so I ain't gonna lie, I stayed 10 minutes from the house, but it took me like 3 hours to get home because I didn't know how I was gonna tell this 5 month pregnant woman that I lost my job. And so I was still cutting hair, and honestly, after processing everything that I went through, because they didn't really have a reason to fire me. I was good at what I did. I was always on time. If anything, I was more proactive. Like most IT people, they're very antisocial. I'm the type I go, hey, is everything working okay? Is everything working okay? What it came down for me was that they wanted me to do things that my supervisor was only cleared to do. And, you know, in any job or any situation, just because you can do something doesn't mean you're authorized to do something because I'm entry level. So yeah, I could do it, but I'm not authorized to do it. So I have to move it up the ladder. They'd be like, well, you can't just do it right now. I say, no, I can't do it right now because if something go wrong, y'all not gonna back me up and say, oh, I told him to do that because my boss gonna be like, well, he wasn't cleared to do stuff like that. But if you're cleared and something go wrong, you got the support and everything you need. And so after experiencing that and really getting fired for no reason, I told myself I'd never be in a position where somebody will fire me ever again. I'd rather make it by my own merit. So honestly, I got one more summer job in IT after that. And right before my daughter was born, you know, I looked her in the eye and said, I ain't going back to work for nobody. So I found the barber school. He told me I wanted to do part time because I wanted to cut hair at school, but then still cut hair at the house. So because I still got to pay these bills. And he was like, "Look, I ain't taking no more part time students." So in June of 2016, after cutting hair for almost a year, unemployed, just cutting hair from like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 9, 10 o'clock at night, only $10 a pop, just so I can make sure I can make ends meet. I text all my clients and was like, hey, I'm starting barber school. If y'all can come to the school, that'll be much love. But if y'all need me to cut your hair when I get out of school, I did that. So I would get up 7, 8 o'clock. I would cut hair before I got to school at 10, be the first one there, the last one to leave. And it was like all she wrote from there. I was blessed to be in a situation where the owner of the barber school, he used to own this shop. And he was like, look, you got the clientele, you're one of the most professional students I had. Do you want it? I'm like, I ain't got no money for no shot. He was like, don't worry about it. We'll put you on a payment plan. And he said, I'll be with you every step of the way. And here we are, 4 years later? And I still got it. It's still up and running. And, you know, I'm happy to be in this position because I can honestly say my daughters have never seen me clock in to anybody else's job.
So tell me this though. Had you not have lost that IT job, do you think you'd be the owner of Blaze Barbershop right
No, if I didn't lose that job, I probably wouldn't have been forced to figure out how I'm gonna make it. I wouldn't have had that thought process. I would have just been trying to, like every other person, trying to work their way up, trying to apply to another company if this company ain't paying it. Because that's what I was gonna do. Like because that job was only paying me like $11 an hour, and it was like I'm about to have a family, so I'm gonna need more than that. I was just
now? $11 as a graduate?
hmm
Wow, that's crazy.
and so it was one of those things where it was just like I just wanted to get the experience so that I can go apply for like Navy Federal or one of those offices downtown. And and I was just gonna, do that route. And so because I was forced to figure something out and then the way in which it went, I was like, I don't like that feeling. It would have been one thing if I would have quit because I found another job, or I would have got fired because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. But honestly, because y'all didn't want to y'all wanted me to do things that my supervisor was clear to do. And now the funny thing about it, what they told me was they didn't have enough money to renew my position. So less than a year later, I go back and visit my supervisor because she was a black lady. So I go back and visit her. All of a sudden, they got money to fill that position, and it wasn't another black person in that
Wow,
office.
wow.
Mm.
And so, now that I'm a graduate and I don't use my degree, I ain't ashamed. I'm not afraid to say. I wasn't afraid to say. I wrote a poem about it. But you know, I went to UWF and they used to call it Unified White Folks. You won't finish, you will fail, and that's really what it was. And that college experience, going to a PWI, it really it gave me the perspective of how America really works. Like I was in organizations, I was in the African American Students Association, I was in the Collegiate 100, And all the minority organizations would do all the work. They would be inclusive. They would make the campus fun. They would invite everybody, but the white students or the white people wouldn't show up. Our funding would get cut. The paintball club would get more money than us, and so it was like, okay, this is really how America works. I'm not mad. I'm just glad I have that perspective, and so I'd rather do my own thing.
I got you. Go ahead, Amanda. You got anything for him?
Oh, all right. What is an unspoken rule when it comes to the barbershop?
I don't know, because it really depends on what type of barbershop you got. Cause in some barbershops anything goes. Uh,
I know I got one for you.
I know some taboo things is like, you know, trying to steal what they call quote unquote stealing people clients. But I don't believe that you can steal somebody's client. Honestly, just don't be stank when you get in the chair. You don't know. Hey man, some of these dudes, man, they be fresh off work, and you be like, I understand you fresh off work and you wanted to get here before we close, but man, you could have waited till a day off, man. Oh, but honestly, man, I don't know because I think the barbershop has always been the pillar of a community, and it's been very outspoken. It's people come to talk, come to fellowship, uh, and so it's one of those places where everybody can be themselves. So and as far as in my shop, I believe in a family-friendly, professional environment. So just have respect for the shop and the people that are in here. But as far as any unspoken rules, I don't know.
What about
I can't really.
I heard what happens in the shop stays in the shop. Is that something that you would agree or disagree?
Depends on how funny it is. Uh, now, now, I think that I don't think that's an unwritten rule. I think that's just a rule in general where if use your common sense. If somebody coming in here and they telling you something, and they because when somebody sits in your chair, some people they see they barber more than they see they friends. I got clients that come every week, every 2 weeks, and so you develop a relationship and they start telling you what they're going through in their marriages or in their personal life. And so, it's that client confidentiality. And so I think that's just a matter, but that's just respecting your people. You don't want your clients to feel like you're talking about them. But now if it's just something like somebody like in the movie Barbershop where the guy was getting his car messed up, like, nah, that's gonna be on Instagram. Like, man, this fool here, what he done did, but when it's personal or when it's intimate, you keep that stuff to yourself. I done had dudes be in the shop by myself, just me and them. I had dudes cry and tell me what they're going through. And so I don't know if that's an unwritten rule. I think it's just a respect thing amongst people. Keep stuff to yourself unless it's funny.
Another one that I had was you kind of touched upon it, but what benefits do you think Blaze Barbershop specifically bring to the community?
So part of the reason I wanted my own shop was so that one of the things that helped me in college was I was in this group. Shout out to my one of my mentors, both of my mentors, Dr. Turner and Kismet. So they had this group called Yes, I'm a Black Man and I'm in College. And we met every Thursday. And we would sit there and just talk because, when I went to UWF, graduation for Black men was so low that it could almost be rounded to 0%. I graduated in 2013. I was like one of 10 uh, brothers, that's undergrad and graduate, to walk across the stage. We can't hear you, cause y'all both muted. Can y'all hear me? I can't hear y'all.
I can hear you.
Okay, but because of his issues. But yeah, I was gonna start it this year, but I didn't get a chance to because of COVID. I was gonna start a men's group, but we're gonna meet one Monday out the month, and so that was the goal, to just do a men's group, because one of the things that I realized and why I love cutting hair or being a barber is the connection that I have with people, you know. And one of the things I realized in college about men, we suffer in silence. Men, we're like what, 9 times more likely to commit suicide. You know, we don't go. We're less likely to go to a therapist or a mental health professional, talk about our issues. And so for me, having a platform for brothers to feel comfortable and talk, that's what I wanted to do.
I got you. So, is there any, like, my fault? I don't know if I had lost contact for a minute with y'all, but is there anything that's off limits in the barbershop? Like when they or say this, is there anything that when people start talking about it, you be like, oh, not this again?
So in barber school, what they tell you is, if you're gonna have a barbershop, you should, to keep it neutral, you stay away from religion and politics. You stay away from it. Does that happen in the barbershop? Absolutely not. What I try to facilitate in my barbershop is common sense. You know what I mean? Like, because people want to talk about what they believe and what they feel. And so for me, I just have like a common sense practice. Like, if I feel the conversation is going left or people are getting uncomfortable, I'd be like, hey, so man, when them Nets gonna play defense? And and switch it up. But no, yeah, we talk about anything. My thing is always respect. And so, because the one thing that people love about my shop is that they're like, it's not like the other barber shops, it don't smell like weed, or it ain't all the rah-rah. It's like laid back and chill. Don't get me wrong. The rah-rah is for people. Some people like it. Some people like, you know, the freedom of that. I just try to keep it laid back here. I wanted to feel like you should be able to bring your whole family. You should be able to bring your wife, your daughters, your grandma. Everybody should be able to come to this barbershop and feel comfortable. And so, if it's one of those things, like I tell my barbers, like, if it's one of those things, I don't care what you're talking about, as long as it ain't like crazy, like you tell us about some crime you done committed. Like, I ain't trying to be no accessory, but your opinions about stuff, like if nobody else in the lobby and that's just you and your client talking, if I have something to interject, I'll interject. But other than that, you know, it's all free. But if somebody walks in the door, if it need to be cleaned up, clean it up.
Well, something you said earlier. You were saying how the barbershop is a pillar in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Talking Black history, do you feel like the barbershop is still a meeting place to have those kind of conversations?
Yes, if ownership is intentional about it. And so that's why once COVID lifts, I'm intentionally going to have my men's. I think we live in a world now where people don't want to sit still anymore, and so people want appointments, people want to be able to get in and out, and so it's kind of hard to facilitate conversation when everybody's trying to get their hair cut. Everybody have their earphones in, they face down on the phone.
Mhm.
And so we live in a very antisocial world. Uh, but I still think uh, it is a pillar for the community, because I look at it like, honestly, it's only two businesses or entities that survive the test of time in America for Black folks. That's the barbershop and the church. And I said I wasn't gonna be no pastor.
What real quick too, before I let Amanda go ahead. Has COVID impacted your business, or you still been able to still make things happen?
So we had to close for 2 months.
Ooh.
And I got denied for the PPE like 3 times. So did it affect it? Yeah. But the truth is, when it comes to this, once they allow us to open back up, like what we've seen with any business, either you're going to adjust or you're going to perish. You know, you look at it was restaurants that weren't doing online orders or delivery. Those restaurants like we ain't trying to close. We're gonna do curbside pickup. We're gonna do delivery. So it's either evolve or die. And one of the things that I ended up doing was in the last 3 months, I went ahead to the shop being open 7 days a week because we were only traditionally open Tuesday through Saturday, but now we open 7 days. And honestly, it has been very helpful. We get a lot of people that actually come in on Sundays and Mondays because a lot of other barbershops are closed. Uh, and so that's one of the things I did to adjust and honestly just put my money into promotion and making sure that my Google page looks nice, my Yelp page looks nice. Constant on Instagram and Facebook, just taking advantage of every single platform that is out there to make sure. And now that I have more free time, like I'll make sure like if I feel like people still gonna come, I'll make sure I stay. I'll keep that sign on as long as I can, until I gotta go home and watch some anime or something.
Hey, anime fan. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Um, I've been debating about this for quite some time, especially with Irv. What is the difference between a $10,000 cut and a $5 cut? And how do you determine that?
Well, the the difference is about $9,995. But but honestly, I tell people that in any industry, you can decide to go with quality or you can decide to go with quantity, and both are profitable. So I try to have a mixture of both to where I put out a quality product, but I can get enough people in. So, like with me, I make sure that I only offer one appointment an hour because it doesn't take me an hour to cut anyone's hair. But what it does for me is I can grab an appointment for people who need the convenience of an appointment. They got it. And for those people who like to walk in, I don't have 100. I can squeeze them in between. Um, but as far as like if you're sort of from a quality standpoint, honestly, it depends on your barber. I think any barber is worth any amount that they feel like. Because we live in a day and age where, yeah, I've had people give me $100. I've had people say I charge too much. But that's gonna happen in any industry. But I know this much: the higher your price, the higher the expectation. So if I charge you $5, it could be a $5. I could charge you five, and honestly, it could be if you want to scale it, it could be worth 100. And somebody could charge you 100 and it'd be worth $5. So I know this much: the person that paid $5 and got a $100 haircut, he gonna be satisfied. The person that paid $100 and got a $5 haircut, he ain't gonna be so satisfied. So
Would you? All right. So I'm gonna kind of piggyback off her question. If you knew all right, in your shop, your price is set at this, but then you have somebody who is successful and they bring in $100 million, does your price change to meet that price plan?
no, because I charge what I charge because of what I charge. I don't base what I charge off of what somebody else makes. It's not my job to be in your pocket. It's my job to cut your hair. Uh, and so, for instance, I'm in a situation where I've cut NFL players, I've cut NFL draft picks. Like right now, I cut because a lot of the draft picks they come they come to Pensacola and they go to Golf Breeze because there's this Andrews Institute where they do combine training. And so I've cut a couple of top. One of the guys I cut now, his name is Trey Lance. He's probably honestly top three best quarterbacks coming out of the draft. I don't charge him anything extra, even though I know what he has and what he potentially is. That ain't got to do with me. Everybody ain't gonna get a chance to have the celebrity or a millionaire in a chair. Uh, so I just charge what I charge. Now, if you want me to do stuff like stay late, come to you, do a house call, that's my discretion. But if you come in this building, I'm charging you what I charge.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Kobe Bryant situation.
What up, what up? It's Amanda from Irv and Co. Check out our next video about this topic. Stay tuned.